Hello, hello, hello. And that was weird. We started off the show with looking at us rather than the intro card, which is just wrong. It's just, we've just completely screwed up reality here.
Especially since I've been twitching.
Oh, yeah? Have you been?
Yeah.
Are you kind of like, buffering, losing your mind over there?
I was.
I'm looking at myself here on the screen, and that's new.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And it's weird because I don't usually see myself in this. So.
Yeah.
And it's going to be an adjustment.
Well, there's a reason for all these adjustments, just like us appearing before our title card and stuff.
Yeah.
Hello, 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 everybody, by the way. This is the Bada Show.
Hey.
Welcome for tuning in. And we have new equipment here on the show. We are minty fresh, all this great stuff, because we had so many technical issues in the past.
I'm
trying to figure this out.
Get yourself all centered and looking good. So now we have a new member of the show. I am Dave. That is Chris.
Yes.
Now, we also have another member of the program, Chris Yu, who contributes with his emails.
True
so
that.
technically, this is the fourth member of the show. I'd like you to say hello to Bada Bot. Bada Bot, would you like to say hello to the audience? Oh! Dude, I'm sorry, Bada Bot. I'm sorry. I realized I screwed up the title card. I let out the show with this whole thing. He is so angry with me right now.
He is.
He's, because he's the Rolls Royce of this entire program, and I don't know how to push buttons properly. Whoopsie.
Who does?
My bad. So, yeah. Welcome to the worst intro of the Bada Bin Show of all time. But we've been off a week, too. You know what I mean? So, cut me some slack, eh?
Yeah. And today is almost an impromptu episode, too. I had a lot of stuff planned this week. So we were... I was supposed to see my shrink today. Then we had some condo stuff across town that we were supposed to do, and that fell through. But I'd already canceled my appointment, and here we are.
Okay.
Pretty wild.
It all worked out. The stars aligned.
It did work out.
Speaking of which, something we didn't mention the last time we were...
Wait.
Oh.
We have a comment from our friend Chris Yu already, who says, why does Chris have an echo when he talks?
Okay. Stop that. Because we're actually messing around with the microphone right now. Trying to figure out the microphone settings and stuff. So maybe if I do this...
I don't mind a little voice of God, but,
We're working on it, Mr. Yu, okay? We are trying to fix all this stuff. Unfortunately, it is a work in progress here. Oh, I see why. So let's do this. This is awesome, enthralling streaming. If I do technical stuff on air.
Yes.
Because this other mic is now available. So let's try this, shall we? Keep speaking, Chris. Entertain the audience while I mess with all this.
Let's see. My brain is kind of fried right now.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of data in my head. A lot of like real life data in my head, which is weird. Because usually my data is ephemeral comic crap.
Right.
And now it's sharing space with like a lot of real stuff. And that is not normal for me. Normalcy is not normal for me.
Okay.
So it's been an adjustment.
Okay.
But so as I was telling you off the air here, this has nothing to do with my mental maladies, but I found out like half the X books were being canceled.
Right.
I was just checking out Paul O'Brien's website, House to Astonish. I've been following Paul O'Brien since like the mid '90s on using that when he would review the X-Men books back then. And he still does it now. And I popped in there. I hadn't been there for many months. And so like, oh, this is the penultimate issue of this, the penultimate issue of that. Oh, this one's canceled too. This one's rumored canceled. It's like, wow. Who'd have thunk launching a line with like 9 books, 9 $5 to $6 books, many of which shipping twice a month, and then throwing another 6 on top of that would be a bad idea. Who'd have thought?
Who would have thunk it? Yeah.
Definitely not the absolute DC people.
Right. Now, if Chris
Yu says our voices are normal now.
Okay, I did it.
We're back to normal.
Oh, God. Thank you, Bada Bot. Yes, you are the best. We know. Calm down.
Calm down, Hubert.
Don't do that. Don't call them names.
Oh,
Don't.
I was a pet name.
No. Bada doesn't like that. Please, let's
Okay.
not agitate the Bada. But I'm sorry, as you were saying before we fix this, because that's what we do, we're fixers. Titles getting canceled. Who would have thunk it that this was a bad plan from the get-go?
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise, but alas, here we are. Right?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. It's a sad sign of the times. It's just how can you miss? You know, you launch actual X-Men books and you can't make them run longer than a year.
What is intended now to ever run longer than a year?
But
yes,
but I hear from people on the internet that comics is more successful and more profitable than ever.
Okay.
So no worries, anybody.
You know, I was slightly shocked reading because recently Scott Snyder, I'm not sure if he was doing a podcast or something, but he had made some announcements about a new Absolute book coming out. Yet again, something we were talking about a little bit off air here. But he'd mentioned how far he has plotted Absolute Batman thus far.
All right.
And he's already talking about going into issues 30 and beyond. And I'm like, wow.
That's great.
Yeah, it is great, but it's like, holy moly, like, you're really thinking this through. You plan on sticking with this book for a while. I'm very impressed with that, you know. Now, in contrast to what you're just discussing with X-Men, expensive books, a slew of books, not necessarily titles that everybody, or you would assume anybody's necessarily begging for.
Sure.
I'm sure there are plenty of Phoenix fans out there. I guarantee it. But how many were like, Phoenix, Jean Grey, assuming is Phoenix still Jean Grey? I'm not even aware anymore.
For now.
But can she sustain an ongoing title for a substantial amount of time?
No, I think that one actually I think it got a 5-issue reprieve.
Really?
Because I guess that's how Marvel's doing it now. They're just like, I'm going to prove this for 10 issues. And it's like, hey, if you get to a certain, 5 more. Instead of like, okay, this is an ongoing book. It's going to go as long as it goes. This is a miniseries. It's going X amount.
Well, wasn't that similar to DC's approach with their titles as well? In particular, Green Arrow.
I'm sure it's the entire industry right now.
Yeah, Green Arrow was only supposed to
that was
last,
a 10 issue.
Right, but then it kept going because people were actually reading it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think everything is up in limbo, in the air, as far as what what could be an ongoing nowadays. We just don't know.
But the thing of it is Green Arrow was solicited as a mini. Whereas these ongoings are solicited as ongoings, and they're only getting 10-issue contracts.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what I'm agreeing with, but I agree.
Yeah, that works. Circle gets a square.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing about the new look of the show, if anybody has noticed, I did this split screen thing with us too, and I was just sampling that to see how that would look, and hopefully. It looks good to the folks on YouTube. I don't know if it's a preferable way to look at Christopher and I, you know, in this kind of way where we're kind of stretched out, but we're both on the screen at the same time in this.
Maybe if I put my head this way, I look taller.
Oh, I'm going the wrong way.
Yeah.
There we go. Right. I know.
Yeah.
So anyway, what do we have on deck other than complaining about the longevity of an ongoing series? Well, Chris, I have read some books this week that I would like to talk about. Actually, I read them last week. I planned on discussing them last week, but we weren't around. And then you actually did some digging of your own.
I did.
So you have some books to detail as far as those little hunts that you had had. So I think we're going to lead off with those reads that I was talking about.
Cool.
Because I did get a new shipment of books last week. And there was one title in particular that I was really excited for, mainly because I've expressed my affection for the character of John Kent. And I don't know if it was last episode, maybe a couple episodes prior. Someone can correct me because I can't remember what I had for breakfast. But I had mentioned that Nicole Maines, she wrote a special for John Kent.
Oh, the Ab Pow?
For Absolute Power, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was very good because, you know, generally one-shots associated with an event, you might as well just line your birdcage with them, you know what I mean? So I was kind of shocked that she had written something with some substance to it that I really enjoyed. So when they announced that she was doing and I know you're probably going to groan at this just by the title alone, but a new Secret Six book.
We definitely needed it.
Right. Well, still, man, I was like, hey, all right, Nicole Main's going to be writing some John Kenton here. As far as the supporting cast, of course, as you can see on the cover on the screen, Catman's going to be there from back in like Gail Simone's Secret Six era. Dreamer, of course, being the character that Nicole Main's played in the CW, and I believe Chris Yu was the one that corrected us and let us know. Was she on Supergirl or something?
Not a clue.
All right. Well, Chris Yu can still chime in when he sees fit to correct us on the CW universe. But anyway,
I think it was on DC Legends and Heroes, whatever that stupid show is called.
Legends of Tomorrow. That much I know.
That was so terrible.
I know, because I remember watching an episode and they were like in a spaceship or time machine. I'm sorry, and they're going through some kind of field or whatever, and the budget that they had was like, okay, how can we make this look as real as humanly possible? Let's just shake the camera. And it was so obvious. The actors were just like standing in place going, whoa, oh no.
Pretending they were in the honeycomb hideout when Andre the Giant came by.
Yeah, okay. Give me my honeycomb. Back to the book. The art in this is beautiful. It's Stefan Segovia. Hopefully I'm saying the name right. Steven. I said Stefan. Steven. Okay. I suck with names. This has been well established.
So do I.
That's going to be my next t-shirt. I suck with names. But the art is very nice. Unfortunately, as far as the debut issue goes, the best way I could describe this is extremely clunky.
Okay.
It's not a very smooth read. There are some hints or ties to whether it's Pow, Dreamer, her character, and there are times when you would think editor's notes might come in handy here.
What are those?
Yeah, they wouldn't be annoying with just funny little quips if they actually gave you information that is required to understand what the hell you're talking about. This would have benefited from that a little bit. But as far as the plot and the pacing of it, very herky-jerky. So for a debut issue, not all that in a bag of chips. You know what I mean?
And the logo sucks.
You don't like that?
What kind of AI garbage is that?
You think that's AI? You really do?
I don't know. It looks like shit.
Okay.
It does not look good.
All right. Well, thank you for letting your honest feelings known there. What do you say it looks like? It looks like horse manure. You know? So, yeah. So I am going to, of course, stay sub to this. I need more John Kent in my life. I want more John Kent stuff in my life. Material, stories, whatever. As long as it's not written by Tom King, I'm okay. And unfortunately, Nicole Main's has impressed me in the past, but this book in particular wasn't happening for me. You know what I mean? Now, as we move on from the books that I did in fact read this week, I don't have them coordinated with my pile over here. So I'm going to have to grab the thing and kind of flip through it.
That's all good.
But I think the next book I would like to discuss, because the last issue 28, I found to be a great disappointment, especially since I've been enjoying the series so much, and that is Fantastic Four. And here we have another One World Under Doom tie-in, which is going to be everywhere and everything for a while
For
here.
what, the next 6-7 months, probably.
I know it stretches into the summer.
Yeah.
But thankfully, this issue number 29, gets back to some of the elements that I like in this book, where it's very character-driven. There is, of course, action to be had. I mean, you do have the ever-loving blue-eyed thing on the cover and She-Hulk throwing punches, letting some haymakers. I don't know what they're exactly punching at, though. It seems like Dr. Doom's face in the corner there is fabricated. Maybe. It's just like, we just like throwing punches. But,
why not?
But alas, I really enjoyed this, and I'm like, whew, thank goodness, back to a sense of normalcy, if you can have one with Fantastic Four. And as far as the tie-in elements itself, I don't know. Listen, one thing I did like about the tie-ins is I do think they're related to issues and topics that I care about. So that's always beneficial to me as a reader and something that I can enjoy. But overall, I don't know, man. Let's just... can I make a plea? Who can I write a letter to? Like, let's stop the tie-in issues. Let's have the event thing. If you want to do the one-shots that I was talking about just a few minutes ago, fine. One shot away. I don't have to buy them. when I'm getting the regular, run of a series, and everything has to tie into that, it's like, cut me some slack, Jack. Especially my wallet.
Help us out.
Yeah, exactly. Just a little bit. So if we do find out who we can write to about that, please let me know. You can do so at badabinshow@gmail.com. Ding, 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 ding. First time I plug the email. So, yeah. So let's see here. I'm trying not to go as fast with my reviews as I normally do because I feel like a used car salesman all the time.
Yeah, whatever works.
Trying to be like some kind of huckster.
Joe Azuzu?
Yeah, getting you behind the wheel of this 1985
David Leisure?
empty nest. Behind the wheel of this 85 Dodge Omni as fast as humanly possible because I know once it drives off the lot, the hubcaps will pop off. So I'm consciously trying to slow down my thought pattern here as I talk about my recent reads. Next one up here, it's a fairly new series. The issue I'm going to talk about is issue 4. And the first couple issues did not wow me at all. But surprisingly, the last 2, 3, and 4 have turned the tide for me. And this is like a horror pseudo-anthology book from Ghost Machine Image called Hyde Street. Jeff John writes it, so you know it's going to have some level of quality, right? I have never been a big Ivan Rice fan.
All right.
How do you feel about his artwork? Are you a fan of Ivan Rice? I know he's
okay with it. I'm okay with it.
He's been all over the place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most notably, of course, Superman. It is a very detailed style.
Did he do the John's Aquaman at the start of the New 52?
He did. He was also on Aquaman as well. Because I remember Paul Pelletier, I believe, was on that book too. No.
Oh, Pelletier rules.
So, and again, correct me if I'm wrong because I'm just relying on that one lone brain cell I got sitting on the lazy boy up here.
Yeah, I think Pelletier was on it around 2015, 2016-ish, right before Rebirth.
Okay.
But Pelletier's art, I love Pelletier's art.
Well, as far as Ivan Rice and not being a big fan of his style, the first 3 issues, and listen, he draws very well. He's an excellent artist, don't get me wrong, but everybody has their own...
Just not your style.
Your own flavor, right? You know, you like Pepsi, you like Coke, whatever. So he to me was Fanta or something.
Sure.
But
I'll see.
There we go. In this one, I was actually more impressed. And it's not like his style changed, but this kind of deals with a Universal movies style, like classic monster in a way. And I
He's
thought
like a Frankenstein looking thing there.
very much so. And I thought his art was very fitting for the story being told here because each issue deals with people. It's very Twilight Zone-esque or Outer Limits, where people who end up on this fictional street, Hyde Street, and they have to pay for the sins of their life. And they encounter various demonic creatures that look normal. One is a little kid. Another guy, he's this Mr. X-Ray, wears X-ray glasses, but he looks like a mild-mannered, middle-aged man. And here you get a character, this Frankenstein monster that you're noting on the front here, who's actually quite hideous, and it's his backstory. So I was very happy with this issue. So it was one of those things where the first few issues of Hyde Street have been okay, and I'm like, do I need it? Can I live without it? I probably can. But this one made me change my mind. It's staying on the pole, baby.
There you go.
So good job to Hyde Street number 4. The next book is something that you're going to say, Dave, you're biased, because all you ever do is talk good things about this book. And will he continue to do so, ladies and gentlemen? Will Dave continue to say wonderful things about Superman? The answer is yes. Absolutely, unequivocally, absolutely, yes. I said absolutely twice. Couldn't stop myself because this book has been freaking great. And this issue, dude, it's got it all. Have you gotten this one yet? Have you had a chance to read number 23?
No, I think I'm up to the one right before that.
It continues the whole storyline as far as trying to claim rights to
the time trap,
Doomsday and what have you, but it's got a little bit of everything in it. Where
I've been enjoying it.
Dude,
I've been enjoying it.
It's got all the elements you'd want in a great superhero comic, I think exist right here. Now,
very cool.
Does it hurt that the patron saint of comics or artists, as I consider him, Dan Mora, is drawing this book? No, it definitely elevates it to the point
Sure.
where I will say absolute twice in 2 seconds. And one sad thing I will mention about this book is I think this is the last good look we had at the well-behaved, heroic Lex Luthor.
Okay.
Because
because it said like in issue 24 it continues from the special, right?
yes, and
All
the
right.
special is where he took his heel turn.
Gets his memory.
To
Yeah.
use your wrestling terms. I
Sure.
know he was a bad guy before, but I wanted to throw in a little,
Well, he's a good guy now, or I guess neutral guy.
I know, but I was trying to throw some wrestling terminology in there to kind of impress you a little bit, maybe get some cred.
Oh, I forgot. I got Coco in the garage downstairs. I was gonna bring him up. I forgot.
Oh, all right. Well, next time
Yeah.
that'll be a tease. Coco and the
Yeah.
chili dog, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this book, man, I never want it to end. I love it.
I might even have Frankie down there.
Oh wait, who?
Frankie.
Which Frankie? What Frankie?
Coco's bird.
Oh, that was the name of his bird. I didn't even realize that.
Oh, come now.
I just lost all my credit. I thought the bird's name
You lost it.
was Birdie or Sparkles or...
Frankie.
Dude, I'm sure that bird was so replaceable. Frankie dies, they just go to the pet store. But the wings are
Frankie
yellow.
died in a fire,
Are
actually.
you serious?
Yeah, yeah. Coco had a house fire and Frankie died in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Way to freaking put a wet blanket on my Superman 23 review, Chris.
You didn't even know he was sick.
I did. Exactly. Exactly. Jeez Louise. Anyway, I guess we'll turn from this now and just... I'm stressing to you, and I can't stress enough. This is one of my favorite books out.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. Joshua Williamson is a writer that we have talked about quite a bit on the show, where and it kind of seems like an opinion that is shared between every creator, where they have their ups and downs. There's very few creators that you can say hit home runs every time out.
Mm-hmm.
But lately on Superman, Williamson has in fact been a straight up home run hitter.
Killing it.
Dude, absolutely
Yeah.
killing it. I'm so impressed with it. I just can't get enough. So please never let this book end. Let this creative team take it for the next 10 issues, because that's all they get, right? Let's keep rock and rolling with it.
Maybe we'll find out in a few months that Mark Miller wants to come back to DC, and they'll be like, "Hey, take every book you want, every one of them."
Leave my Superman alone, please.
That's what I said when Bendis came.
Oh.
He came anyway.
Yeah, right. Bendis is coming for your favorite superhero. Run and hide.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next one up will be dealing with one of Marvel's Merry Mutants. If I can find the book here in my stack, which I think the cover is actually incredible. There's nothing like mind blowing as far as action or anything. I just like this whole image of Wolverine, number 7, kind of picking himself up after obviously some epic scrap, wiping his chin off, saying, "Let's go, baby." It's time to throw down. This title I've mentioned before. I've thought it's been decent. It's been okay. Now we're going into, this is Legacy number 399.
Mm-hmm.
So with issue number 8, aka Legacy number 400, I don't know what I spent on it, but I'm sure it's very expensive.
Yeah, it's probably at least $6.
Which is something I hate. I cannot stand
Yeah.
that. Like, celebrate anniversaries by the volume. That's my thing, right?
Or just go back to the regular numbers.
Exactly.
Mm,
One
pick
or the
one.
other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't kind of do this whole, it's issue 8, but technically it'd be issue 400 if
Yeah.
we stuck with the numbering. Yeah. Pick a lane. Go with that. You know what I mean? So, of course, we're going for the epic showdown of this first arc next issue. This leading into that, it didn't wow me. The artist here is Martin Coccolo. Coccolo, thank you. And I think he's done an admirable job. I think he's a very good artist.
He was good on the Krakoa books, yeah.
I think I've mentioned this before about Wolverine. I think the coloring is fantastic. And then as far as the writer, Ahmed Solomon, how do you say his first name?
Saladin Ahmed.
Yes. I'm just going to have you pronounce creators' names from now on. You say you suck at it, but you're still better at it than I am. So
I've done a lot of
earned
solo podcasting, so
there you go.
thousands of hours.
So the next book I end up pulling out from my stack, you can pronounce the names.
Okay, I'll try.
I swear to God, I'm going to make it easy on you.
All right.
But anyway, as far as Wolverine, this issue was just yet again okay. I'm not like eagerly anticipating how this is going to turn out with this whole adamantine, ancient metal thing going on here.
I don't think in the history of Wolverine anybody's been looking forward to the next issue of Wolverine.
Really, ever?
Ever.
Ever?
Ever in the history of ever.
All right.
It's just that's all right.
Yeah, it's been okay.
Yeah.
Just talking about Hyde Street earlier when I was at that crossroads of cancellation going, can I live without it?
Yeah.
I'm kind of in that same situation with Wolverine where I wanted to have a decent Wolverine read in my life. And this has been okay, but it's not exactly enough to make me want to stick around, especially at the price point.
It's $5, right?
This is the $5. And I know I pay the mail order discount, but even then, the $3.24 or something, I'm like, hurting me there a little bit. Now, the final issue that I have to talk about this week for my recent reads, Chris, I'll let you do the honors of announcing the creators on this book, so I don't flub them at all. And that is Justice League Unlimited #4.
Mirk Ward.
Yes.
And Dern Mara.
Yes, you nailed it. Dude, you got it. Mark Waid, Dan Moore. And, dude, this book has been such a slog, and it's only been 4 issues, okay?
It's not good.
But I will say this has been my favorite issue of the series thus far.
Okay.
Issue 4. And there's a reason for that. Much like my Superman bias with Dan Moore as the artist, we're going to go even beyond that. Okay. Dan Moore does in fact draw this.
Is Metamorpho in it? Swamp Thing in it?
Oh, guess what? Tefe Holland is in it.
Okay.
And Tefe Holland plays a very large role in this book. Dude, anytime I see Tefe, I'm happy. Dan Moore drawing Tefe, wooga, like holy moly, fantastic job. The only downside was it teases a new team, a Justice League team, based on those who can tap into elemental forces. And Mr. Terrific is like, I don't know why he'd be doing this. He's not a sophomore in high school, but he's got like a sketch pad or like a notebook, and he's writing down JLG, Justice League Green.
Oh, get the hell out of here.
And I'm like, that's the cheesiest concept. I mean, you had Justice League Dark.
Which was a bad name, too. Terrible name.
Fine. I get it. I understand
Cringe.
it. Okay. But Justice League Green. And I'm sure that's going to come out again because they wouldn't even, put it in this book in his little doodles.
Chekhov's comment, yeah.
Had it not been something that we're going to see in the future. And I'm not totally averse to it per se because I do want more Swamp Thing in my life.
Swamp Thing shouldn't be in a Justice League.
But here's the thing: they're hinting that it's going to be Levi Kamei.
The other one,
Holland, because that's who is featured in this, along with Tefe.
Where did this one come from?
How's that?
This Levi.
Okay, so Levi, his whole thing, and it's unfortunate because when they did the series about Levi, that was written by Ram V.
That's a Ram V, yeah.
Correct. It initially tied into his family in India, how he was working for like this multinational corporation that was looking to potentially destroy some of the natural resources of where he was from. And he stemmed from that. He was chosen by the Green, and then he ended up combating none other than his own brother, who also gained powers. And dude, that's basically where it all jumped the shark, because initially that series, there's a lot going on in my head right now, because let me get through all this.
Sure.
It started great, it got really bland, and it was basically exactly what we were just talking about to lead off the show, where it was solicited as being a mini for so many issues. I forget how many off the top of my head, but they extended it to, I believe,
it went 10 to 15 or something like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it was 16.
Maybe.
But it was like, one of those, you demanded it, so we're keeping it going.
That sounds boring as hell, though. And
it did. It carried on way too long. It shouldn't have done that.
A Ram V story going on way too long?
Yes, I
know.
No way. Yes. No, it's true. It's true. So Levi is now the main Swamp Thing in
Where's
the DC
Holland at?
universe. He's still floating around in various stories. So I don't know why. Well, I mean, they have coexisted in a couple stories here. But I don't know why. Well, maybe if they did do a Justice League Green book, they would have Alec in there as well. Tefe, at least the way that she was written in this, and the way she was portrayed initially too, was very punk rock, anti-establishment. You know,
Who
fight the
created
power.
her?
So Tefe was originally.
Was it Miller? Mark Miller?
Did he create Tefe? Because she did stem out of that era. But no. No, I'm sorry. You're racking that one brain cell on the Lazy Boy, because that came out of Rick Veitch's run. Because that's when, and actually, if you remember during our Bada Bouquet segment, I had a trivia question for you as far as what character did
created by Doug Wheeler and Pat Broderick?
Pat Broderick. Okay.
Yeah.
So what? All right, because I was going even farther back than that, because when she was just the Sprout, that would have been from Rick Veitch's run.
Okay. Yes, from Swamp Thing number 65 was her first appearance. Oh, okay. Rick Veitch wrote that.
Okay, but she wasn't Tefe then. She was just the Sprout.
Oh yeah, there we are. All right.
Okay. And then later on,
she became Swamp Thing.
Well, Nancy Collins' run, they instructed Nancy to kill her off. They did not want her in the books, and Nancy was steadfast and adamant. No. I still want to keep this a family book wherein Abby's going to be in it, Tefe's going to play a part. And then later down the road, you had Brian K. Vaughan, who wrote her solo series.
All right.
So we're slowly getting to the history of Tefe Holland.
Sure.
So yeah, I forgot my original point with this whole thing as far as like making her. She would not be ideal for a teen book either. So we'll see if that Justice League Green thing does happen to manifest. What I was going to say was, and I'm sorry I got like 8,000 thoughts rolling in my brain right now.
I've been asking a lot of questions.
Me. Yeah, geez. Thanks. I'm not a professor here. I'm just some schlub who reads a few comics now and then. Cut me some slack here. What I was going to say was, I am not keen as a Swamp Thing fan of the whole Poison Ivy thing.
Yeah.
You know, for me, Poison Ivy is always going to be a bat villain.
Yeah, and a boring one at that.
But anybody with plant-based powers now, they say you're associated with the green somehow. And I know recently there was that one shot, The Deadly Trees, with Poison Ivy and Swamp Thing, and I was happy to see Swamp Thing again. I was like, okay, great. More Swamp Thing, the better. But now it seems like he's always connected by the root at the hip to whether it's Poison Ivy or someone else, when it's just like, just give me a Swamp Thing book. You know what I mean? Or give me the team book. No, not necessary. Don't need it. Thanks, but no thanks. So yeah. But anyway, those are the books I read this week. Hopefully, if you do pick these up, you enjoy my recommendations and think my little slowed down mental process reviews gave you some insight on them. Or if you prefer to have me ramble on like a used car salesman, just let me know. badabinshow@gmail.com.
Word.
That's my presentation. That's my TED Talk for today. I'll see you guys later. So anyway, that be that. Chris, are you sub to all these books now that I just showed off? Wait, not Hyde Street, right? You
not Hyde Street. Not Secret Six.
Oh, you didn't try that one? Okay, because that would have been with a discount like a $2.59 book.
Nah, don't need that in my life.
But you did see it solicited and said no.
Yeah, I'm sure I saw it solicited.
Yeah.
And then again, I do have a package coming next week. For all I know, what's in there. I don't know. I might have clicked. Go ahead. You never know.
What the hell? That's what I clicked. There's a button that says, what the heck?
Sure.
All right. Oh, Fantastic Four. Do you sub to FF? I don't remember.
Yep.
All right. So
I have every issue of Fantastic Four going back to the late 70s.
You have every issue of so much stuff going back to late whatever. These things are shackles on you. They are chains
it's a prison. It's a prison
that you have created because you cannot unsubscribe to any of these books, no matter what, because of this uninterrupted run.
Oh yeah.
That it is a prison of your own making.
Yeah, I am the monitor.
Do you at least feed yourself, or is it just straight up like bread and gruel?
It's
in
prison. It's nicotine patches and pills.
What a way to survive.
Meat paste.
Yeah, yummy. So, Chris, man, I did hint that after we talked about my new books, we talked about some of your bin dives.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
you want to kind of give us a history on what you did and how you went shopping last week?
Yeah,
you
I
your
did.
shoes, your pants, your shirt, and left the house.
Not necessarily all those things, but yes. No, I went to a couple of places. Went to the record store, and I pop in there a few times a month just to see what's new. And I found a couple of trades that I don't usually see. And these are trades that people aren't going to care about these trades at all. I don't think, because the person who made them kind of persona non grata to folks. But it is Mr. Dave Sim, Church's Volume 2. Yeah, I think this was like $7. And I only need, well, at this point I only need one to have the whole run. Because at the next record store I found this. Yeah, so I
Women, Dave Sim, and
Gerhard.
Okay.
Yeah, or Gerhard. Yeah. This is book 8 of Cerebus.
Okay.
And this one is book 4, I think. Yeah, this is book 4 of Cerebus. And I only need book 5 now, which is Jaka's story. Then maybe I can actually get around to reading damn things. The thing with me and Cerebus, it's kind of like I can compare it to like The Prisoner and David Lynch movies, where I like talking about them more than I like actually seeing them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you ever watch The Prisoner?
No, I'm not familiar with it.
Okay, The Prisoner is a Patrick McGowan thing from I think the BBC back in the late 60s. Where this dude just wakes up in a village, doesn't know why he's there. He's assigned a number. He's number 6. He's chased around by this like big ball. It's a very weird sort of trippy show. And I tried watching the show. It poured the hell out of me. But I just love the examination and the analysis of the story. It's a very interesting story just not to watch it. Same with a lot of Lynch's films, like Eraserhead.
Mm-hmm.
I heard about Eraserhead probably 20 years before I saw it, because you couldn't find it anywhere. And I remember just like building it up in my head. This is going to be the most amazing thing. And then I watch it and I'm like falling asleep, and it's like, oh, just end. But I love the discussions of all the symbolism involved. I think that's very interesting stuff. Cerebus. I tried reading Cerebus many times. I tried again last week, and I just can't get into it. But I do love all the mythology around Cerebus. What Dave Sim did for self-publishing. I love all the for lack of a better term, the ephemera included in Cerebus issues. Essays, a lot of interesting back and forth with the readers. It's a very odd experience to go through Cerebus issue by issue. It's just the story itself doesn't exactly wow me. It's one where like if you ask people who've read it, oh yeah, you need to get through like the first 50 issues and then it's good. That's a big ask.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Yeah, I mean that's we get that now with like streaming TV shows where it's like, oh yeah, we're up to season 4, but it doesn't get until season 2. But you have to get through season 1 to get there, and it's like, come on, that's like 12 hours of my life. So I don't know, maybe one of these days I'll get through it, but it led me down a lot of old Dave Sim rabbit holes gone down in the mid late 90s on Usenet, where I was reminded of a lot of the stuff that he did for the industry, where like before him, he was the first person to have his entire work, in print constantly. Like Marvel and DC don't have that now, because it's like impossible. But Dave Sim had that going back to the first time he put out one of his phone book trades. Ever since then, his stuff has been in print constantly. Everything. And I find that to be very interesting and very forward, very progressive. Financially, commercially, as commercial as Cerebus could be. But I just think that that's pretty cool. And I don't think Sim gets a lot of credit for what he did. for the industry and for preservation of his own work, basically. And I don't know. I just like that about him. We'll talk a little bit more about Sim in a bit. But I'm happy to have these books, especially since I got them so cheap. Because they can go for like $30-$40. And I think
I'm not surprised, by the way. I didn't mean to jump in here.
No, go ahead.
You being an ephemera guy, history guy, you know what I mean? That even if the issues or the story itself isn't enough to enthrall you necessarily, the fact that they exist, why they exist, the reasons they exist, all that is enough to really tickle your fancy. And that's like very indicative of your personality and your collecting habits. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, no,
that's cool.
It's really cool stuff. I mean, because I came into comics through ElfQuest, and ElfQuest and Cerebus are always kind of adjacent because they were like part of that like late 70s, early 80s black and white pre-boom, self-published. I mean, ElfQuest didn't go so far as to have all their stuff constantly in print. They had a couple of runs, but I mean, like, I think like these are like 12th printing or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like insane. These things just keep getting printed.
Right.
I don't know if they're still getting printed because Sim is an odd fellow. He has a YouTube page where like every week he like spends like 5 minutes like reading a newspaper.
Really?
Oh, it's weird.
Well, I guess much like David Lynch, where David Lynch would just like go online and talk about the weather.
Yeah, just weird stuff.
Yeah.
But like I remember like on Usenet back in the day, like hearing about Sim, and he was like one of my like heroes of. I never read his stuff, but he was like, I wanted to make comics. I saw this guy, and you see like the early issues of Cerebus, and the art not great. Very amateurish. By the time you get to the end, I mean, Sim is just a ridiculous artist. Like I mean, he can juxtapose photorealism with like better than Disney cartoon. It's just amazing what he could do. But growing up, it's like oh, I can kind of draw. I can kind of write. There's a story about a damn oddball. Okay, I could probably do something. So I would like study his stuff like a few months ago when we looked at but I digress from Peter David. Like Sim would be another guy I would check up on even before I knew what he wrote. And I remember hearing just like the crazy stories, like where he decided to make Cerebus a 300-issue story after being after tripping on acid for a week and a half. He tried acid. He was on it constantly for like a week and a half or something like that. And then he's like, during it, he had the epiphany like, this is what I want for Cerebus, and he did it. And it's like that's pretty sick,
Yeah.
Like you'd hear stories about him showing up to Comic-Cons in limos, and like when the limo doors open, all the smoke pops out. It's like just crazy stories about this guy, just like a rock star lifestyle.
Yeah.
Just some dude from Canada who wrote comics or drew comics. Very interesting fella. We'll talk more about the flip side in a little bit.
Okay.
But another trade I found, this was at Half Price Books. I actually found something there. Yeah.
Okay.
And it is one that I've actually been reading the past few days. It's a lot of fun. It is Batman in the 40s.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I knew they had 50s, 60s, and 70s. I didn't know there was a 40s. But it's pretty fun. It's golden age. So you get a lot of stuff here where you have like Robin with the weird cheeks drawn on. You can see right here. It's like that homely Robin. And this one also came with one of my very favorite things. Somebody signed it. I don't know. Can we see it? There you go. Merry Christmas, Nicholas. Love and somebody or another.
Here's some weird, creepy mannequin-like or what's the name of like a ventriloquist doll cheeks?
Oh yeah, Charlie McCarthy.
There you go. That's Robin's cheeks right there. You know?
Yeah. But that's a fun one. You get to see like the first death of Joe Chill, and it's pretty funny.
Right on.
Where like Batman actually unmasks in front of him. Spoiler alert.
Okay.
He's like I know that you did it because it was my parents, and he rips the mask off. So Joe Chill, he actually goes to like the mooks, right? And he's like, guys, Batman's after me because I killed his parents. And then all the mooks stand up and be like, you're the guy who's responsible for Batman? And then they kill him. And then when he dies, they're like, wait a minute, we didn't ask who Batman was.
Whoops.
So, yeah, so save the secret identity. But fun stuff. Those are my non-warehouse sale books here. But over the weekend, I went to a warehouse sale. I went to a warehouse sale back in December, I think, and left empty-handed. Didn't really find anything, but I didn't really understand the warehouse sale that day because, like, there was a part. It's a warehouse, so like you go and there's like everything set up, and then there's these like long racks that went like long ways, and there's long boxes on there, but like they had like eBay signs on them, and I'm like, okay, I don't think I'm allowed over there. I think this is like this is the stuff they're gonna put like on their little eBay show or whatever, the little auction shows that a lot of the shops do. So I'm like, okay, I don't think I'm allowed over there. So I didn't go over there. This time I went, and there were like a bunch of people over there. And I'm like, all right, F it, I'm going over there.
Breaking the law, baby.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, I'll go. And over there, I found a lot of fun stuff. Found those Earth 85 Detective Comics issues I've been looking for. They're the weird, I refer to the time between like Infinite Crisis and Superman's Secret Origin as a nebulous interim because nobody knew what was real at that point. Where these Detective Comics issues, we have comments. We do have comments here. Oh, wait. See here. Oh, the echo's back. The echo's back. Only when I'm in full screen.
Okay, I'll work on that.
Okay, so let's keep me at a full screen.
You got it. Well, no,
sorry, everybody.
I want you full screen, but I'm going to do my best to eliminate the echo from full screen.
Yes. Where was I?
You were talking about that weird kind of like in-between space with Crisis.
Yeah, so Detective Comics, I think it was issues 569 and 570. They were like technically like the first post-crisis appearances of Joker and Catwoman. And they take place between Crisis on Infinite Earths ending and Year One. So like nobody knew what was real with Batman yet. So they did these stories. They were odd. They were fun. They had amazing Alan Davis art in them, but they don't count anymore. Am I echoing?
That's what I put you on there for, to find out.
Am I echoing?
People can't tell if you start going on those shenanigans.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. All right.
So
let's find out. These comments, please come. Was that Chris Yu that let you know you were echoing?
It was Chris Yu and Chris Bailey.
Okay, both Chris's.
Yeah.
Well, we got three Chris's.
A lot of Chris's here.
Yeah.
It's infinite Chris's.
Yes.
So these detective issues, they've been relegated to Earth 85, which was like the catch-all for the stuff that didn't quite fit. So like they did like a Shazam 4-part miniseries that didn't fit, so they threw that in there. They did like an Action Comics Weekly story where Catwoman kills a couple of guys. They put that in there. So they did a lot of the Hawkman stuff they put in there. So, and I think Shade the Changing Man from Vertigo was shoved in there for some reason. Anyway, these have been wall books everywhere I go. Usually anywhere from $20 to $30. And I found them for $3 each. So I'm like, okay, I'll do that. Don't have those handy because I already read them and filed them away. But happy to have them. Another thing that I found there was, I'm happy to actually own a copy of this here, The Amazing World of DC Comics. I've seen these before, and they're usually very, very expensive. I've seen them for $50 each. I got this for I think $8. It was still too expensive. I don't know what it was. The Jose Luis Garcia Lopez style guide that DC just put out, or is going to be putting out, or has been threatening to be putting out.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's out yet, but I did read that in solicits.
I mean, that thing's been in solicits for like 2 years now. And I remember the first time I saw it, I'm like DC and Marvel can't stick to what a character looks like from panel to panel anymore. Why am I going to buy this thing? You know? Well, I think we have Oh, your
Oh,
brother.
your
Your
brother's
there.
there.
Chris,
You
you
said
said yes. I don't know if that means if the echo is still there or if the echo is fixed.
I'm working on it right now, making sure. So let's let that feedback start rolling in, people, because I want to make sure Badabot is working properly. Isn't that right, Badabot? Okay, Badabot. All right,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Jeez Louise. He says he's working fine. It is operator error, and I am a bleep bleep. So hopefully the
Oh,
echo problem has been resolved. Let's see.
oh no.
Please continue.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Where the hell was I? Oh, Amazing World of DC Comics.
Yes.
So when I saw they were releasing that style guide, I was like, oh, it would be cool if they would do like a whole collection of these Amazing World magazines.
Uh-huh.
And now it's gone. Chris Yu says it's gone. Thank you, Chris Yu.
Thank you, Badabot. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we get it. We get it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So I was thinking like, hey, they should just do a collection of these Amazing Worlds. Then I read an issue and was like, nah, it's probably better they don't, because it's not fantastic. Um, yeah, it's like sub fan mag. Not I love fan mags, but not great.
Now,
What else did I?
question though, real
Okay,
quick. You
yeah,
said it. You seen him go for 50. You
yeah,
paid 8. 8 was too
eight,
much. But
yeah,
do you think the 8 was too much after you read it? Like
yeah, oh
you were
yeah.
like, "What the hell is this garbage?" kind of thing. So
Well, it was just like it just wasn't special. I was looking for, you know me. Anytime I
mhm.
buy something, I'm thinking like, how can I make this? How can I turn this into something? How can I? What interesting thing can I glean from this that I can share with people? And there was just nothing in this. That's not to say they're all like that, but I don't even. I like even. It's just not very good.
Okay. It's like a crappy fan mag. I think you mentioned to me too, just full
Very
of like
boring.
ads and
Yeah,
whatever, and it's
yeah. It's like previews,
yeah,
which like I mean, I do buy a lot of '70s fan mags, and I do buy a lot of early '80s fan mags, and like it looks just like that.
yeah. Well, bummer. At least you know what the
Yeah, look,
excitement was there when you saw it and you had it initially in your hands. Probably
yeah,
released
yeah.
endorphins into your system to the point where the hair stood up on your arms
Oh
and
yeah,
other places that we can't talk about in a public forum and went, "Oh yeah, baby,
sure.
$8 steal."
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Another book that it was a series that I had one left to pick up, and I was unable to find it anywhere. I found like pretty much every issue of this that I missed in dollar bins, but not this one. And I never actually looked it up to see like, hey, is this issue special? And the answer to that is yes and no. It's not terribly special, but it does have Batman on the cover, which means it's probably not going to be in a cheapo bin, and that is Booster Gold Volume 2, number 25.
There you go, bat
So,
tax.
yep, the Bat tax is there,
Nice.
and this is the last issue of this volume that I needed, because this book came out when I was out of work, I believe. Yeah, December 2009. I was just getting back to work at this point. So there's that. Um, I did a little bit of digging in a box that I usually don't dig in, but I've been threatening this Titans project that's never going to happen,
Right.
and I've been looking for Titans adjacent stuff that I don't yet own,
Okay.
which brought me into Burnland here. John Byrne, when he was working on Wonder Woman, which is a book that nobody ever reads, um, he effed with Donna Troy's origin for like the 48th time.
Okay.
And since you don't see Wonder Woman in the back issue bins much because, again, nobody bought the book ever.
Mm-hmm.
So there really isn't much of a secondary market for it. So when I saw these, I was like, I'm probably never going to see these again. Might as well grab them. And I did something stupid, and I grabbed them just by the cover, not realizing that I missed an issue where the whole story ends. But I got Wonder Woman Volume 2, 134, Who is Donna Troy? Which is the lesser of the Who's Donna Troy stories, I tell you. And then the next issue, 135, which we have to destroy Donna Troy. And I didn't pick up the issue after that because Donna Troy wasn't on the cover, but it's the end of that story. Now the whole thing with that, yeah, the whole thing with that is,
Sorry,
I
I
actually
had to
heard
do
it.
it to you. I had to do
I heard it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
but it's really, really bad. Like they wipe her mind, and then she's kind of rebuilt again from Wally West's memories of her.
Okay.
So that's Donna Troy from that point on is this machination of Wally West's memory of Donna Troy, which is a little, I hate the word problematic, but maybe a little. Um, I don't know. It's just really, really fool-headed, you know. John Byrne does what John Byrne does. The art, very loose, ridiculously loose. And while I was in the Wonder Woman box,
Yeah.
which sounds very perverted, I assure you it's
Well,
not.
and when you're thinking about, your whole explanation of Wally's memories of her or thoughts of
Yeah.
her making up who she is, I'm like,
Yeah.
hopefully none of those gym sock thoughts of Donna Troy ended up in her new psyche.
In her new psyche,
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't know.
But I decided to look further back in the Wonder Woman box here, and to the early parts of John Byrne's run, where he introduced a new character who would go on to be quite important in the Teen Titans franchise. That is the other Wonder Girl, Cassie Sandsmark, who, I mean, what the hell is
Oh,
that?
let's put you full screen again.
How do we get me in
There
here?
you go.
Oh
Johnny
my
Storm
God.
looks terrible.
Doesn't he?
Doesn't
he?
He looks terrible.
Yeah, and there's like the first appearance here of this character. Like, what in the hell? I mean,
yeah. So that's wait. That's supposed to be a female character?
that's Wonder Girl.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
He was like, well, let me throw some pastel colors on there.
yeah,
And so people will figure it out. Huh.
Yeah, and this is just unbelievably boring.
The funny thing was when you showed off that page, the first thing you did more so was show off the ad right next to that page, and it says, "Man, he's going to pay for that." And guess what? You just did.
Oh, yeah.
You see that?
I thought it was a Fruitopia ad.
No, it was like Skeletor was on it or something.
Yeah. Oh God, it's so dull. Yeah, when I saw that first appearance, I'm like, it looked like Zach Morris after like a disfiguring car accident.
Oh man,
just so bad.
Oh well, Burns had his moments, that's for sure.
Yeah, he has. Yeah. But yeah, that's for that Titans project that I keep threatening that'll probably never happen.
Who are you threatening? I don't feel particularly, threatened.
You should feel very unsafe.
I don't feel in danger.
Threatening this. Yeah.
Yeah. Blink twice if you want us to call the police.
She and Titans is coming back. Never. But
maybe. You never know.
You never know. Yes, never say never. Now, another book that I got there, and this is one that I was surprised to find there because it is such a niche series, and it is a very notable issue of this niche series. And that is, going back to our friend Dave Sim, Cerebus, number 186.
Wow.
Now, why the hell would anybody care about this issue? Well, this is the issue where Dave Sim kind of, he went off the rails a little bit.
Okay.
This is this issue. Can you read?
Let's see here. I'm squinting.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure that I get it in there. The female void and the male light.
Okay.
This is the beginning of Sim's kind of screed on anti-feminism.
Oh, no.
Which is one of the things he's kind of known for now. Me being the ephemerologist that I am, felt like I needed to own this actual issue so I could actually look at it and see what it... because, I mean, I've read and seen transcriptions of it. It's batshit.
Is that being kind?
It is. I mean, like, you can almost see where he's coming from, but, like, it's very severe. Like, and it's very wrong-headed. And, like, you ever see somebody do something and you ask yourself, like, what are they getting out of that? You know, like, I'm looking at this, I'm reading this essay, and I'm like, what does he hope to achieve from this?
Is this like the old adage, if you have nothing good to say, don't say it at all, kind of thing, or?
Or like, I mean, this is pre-modern internet. This is 1994,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this is not like today where like you have like this mind worm and it's like, oh, I can share this with everybody and you don't even think twice about it.
Right.
Like this is Sim bellying up to a typewriter, typing this out, paginating it, having it print. It's like, hmm, I don't know. I mean,
There's many opportunities for him to stop himself.
there are
You know.
a lot of stopping points. Yeah,
Right. Right.
potential stopping points, and
Okay.
it still made it out.
Mm.
Now, I don't know if this just means that he was kind of in his own rarefied air at this point where he didn't worry about clapback or just didn't see clapback coming. But it does mark the turn in Cerebus where people feel like, because I've been reading a lot about Cerebus, and it's like, oh yeah, the first, the middle third of that is fantastic, is what you hear, or like from issue 25 to 175, that's great comics. But the rest of it is kind of not.
Mm-hmm.
The first bit is Growing Pains because it went from being a Conan parody,
Right.
for the first like 20, 25 issues. And then it got into like Dave's more headier stuff, like High Society, Church and State, the whole women thing, then the guys part. Interesting stuff until you get to like, I guess this would be part of Mothers and Daughters. And that's where it kind of hit that wall for a lot of people.
Mm.
To the point where, I mean, Sim dedicated over 30 years of his life to this. And he said when Cerebus 300 came out and the series wrapped up, he said that it came out to the sound of a one-legged cricket. Like nobody cared anymore.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can appreciate that because I did Action Comics daily. But I don't know. It's too bad because I still think he's a very smart guy. I think he's a very interesting guy. I think he has a lot to offer. He still puts comics out with, some Cerebus stuff. I think he has like Glamour Puss still. But I don't know. I just think that he doesn't quite have the position that he could have had he not done that. And that's unfortunate.
Is there room though, or okay? Listen, there has been room. I should stop myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's been many years. It's been decades where he could kind of correct
Walk it back
in a way, and say, "Listen, that was me at that point in time. I was more ignorant, or I had." He's never done that. So okay, I don't know if he's been given that opportunity. I don't know because people change, your opinions change, your thoughts, your beliefs on things. You're allowed to change. It's evolution of you as a human being. So you'd hope you recognize these faults or errors in your way of thinking and kind of correct them.
But a lot of that essay reads less like an op-ed and more like a manifesto.
Yeah. Okay.
Where he's like, here are some figures. This is what we pay for daycare for one child. So the mother can go out and make this amount of money. It's less. The mother makes less money than the daycare. It's like, what? Mm-hmm. This is a comic book about a friggin' aardvark.
Yeah, right or wrong, this is not the forum. Or
Right?
shouldn't be the forum, right? I don't know.
But I feel like had that turn not come, I mean, he'd be a hero.
Mm-hmm.
It's you're what do you die before you become the villain or whatever that saying is that people like to say.
Live long enough to become the
villain.
Yeah,
Something like that. Yeah, like die a hero or live long enough to become a villain.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because, like I said, I mean, a lot of forward thinking for the industry. Just the fact that he put out collections of his work in the early 80s when that wasn't a thing. Mm-hmm. That was way before trades. That was before, the manga invasion. That was before anything like that. That might even be before like Garfield was collected. It's like, I don't know. You had some real good history there, real good, just People give what's his face? Look, Scott McCloud, the guy who did Understanding Comics. They talk about how he can like see the future because he says that like, hey, everything's going to be digital. When it's like, yeah, and there are clouds out there. It's going to rain soon. No shit. Everything's going digital.
Yeah.
But Sim, back 40 years ago, putting out trades, selling them himself, not even through a distributor at first. I mean, what is that? It's crazy enough to work, and that's why his entire work is in print.
It's crazy enough to work until you reveal to the world that you are in fact crazy, and then you got a problem.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So, what are you drinking there? What do you have?
This is a Waterloo raspberry nectarine.
You and your funky drinks, man! I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you really piqued my curiosity the moment I saw you grab that can.
Yeah, I don't usually have soda.
No, you're always drinking water.
Yeah,
So
today I needed a little flavor after a long day at work.
Yeah. You know, I was off from work today, so I'm fully relaxed. It feels so good. And yet again, reveal on how the sausage is made, not the show, but our lifestyles, our personalities is, I hate my job. And yesterday I had like the worst freaking day ever. And I texted you and I'm like, we need to bada bin tomorrow. I need that therapy so bad to just shoot the breeze about comics and stuff to get me away from Calgon, take me away from this reality I've mired myself in. So yeah, you work today. Your brain is swollen.
A little bit.
Numbers and codes and everything are leaking out of weird places. So, yeah. Now, is that the last you had, though, of the books that you picked up that you wanted to talk about?
I think so.
Because I would like to continue with something that I picked up. I got quite a few back issues this week.
Cool. I love it.
Whoa. Hold on.
Maybe not.
I'm not going to talk about them all. I'm going to save a big chunk of them for next week's episode. Yes, comment me.
Chris Yu says, I get excited every time you mention a possible future Titans project.
Uh-oh, see?
The thread is out there.
It is real. It is tangible.
I even made a logo for it.
You did?
I did.
All right. Can we see it? Can you manifest it?
How can I get that?
I don't know. Is that on the computer that you're streaming from right now?
It is. It is.
Okay. Take a picture of it with your phone.
Okay, let me see if I can find it here.
And then you can send it to me, and I will. I don't know if I'll put it here on the streaming, but I can hold up my phone, or you can hold up your phone. How's that sound? And show everybody the logo.
I could do that.
What I was saying about back issues, though, is there's one back issue that I do want to talk about and show off today, and it is all thanks to this very program. Our humble little Bada Bin show inspired me to make a purchase that I normally would not dare to make for a couple different reasons. One of which, it is a graded book. It is a slab. It is a book I already own in raw format. And the other thing...
Oh, don't say raw.
Huh?
Don't say raw.
Okay, well, I have the single issue. Okay? How's that sound? No more, I won't...
There you go.
I won't say it again. I will not offend you as such. And as I cue up this image here, because I really want to focus on the most important factor about this book. And this is a John Byrne title. Really important to my development as a comic reader. Early 90s, my collecting, everything. So I owe a lot to it. But you had discussed it as being a key book to sum up the 90s. And I'm thinking, since I do in fact own this single issue of the book, do I need a graded version of it? But it was so cheap. I couldn't pass it up. It cost me less than one of the t-shirts I wear, for crying out loud.
I think it was cheaper than actually sending a book to get slabbed.
It was, in fact. This is something we also discussed. And it's also so important because for a character that should have nipples, I am now showing off the fact that Namor, on the cover of Namor #1, The Submariner, by John Byrne, he is in fact nipple-less. Where have Namor's nipples gone? Film at 11, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, you did? I'm gonna hold off showing my slab so you can kind of give us the full deets on that.
Characters back to basics, right? That's his gimmick.
Yeah.
He always takes characters back to basics. Well, for the past few weeks, I've been having I've been needing background noise to keep my mind kind of unfocused. And I talked about my love of these old Saturday morning cartoon channels on YouTube that you find. And I found one that was full of old Marvel cartoons from the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And not a week ago, a Submariner one came on. No nipples. So I think John Byrne was taking him back to basics. No
Holy
nips.
moly, that might explain everything.
Think so.
Yeah,
We solved it.
Without further ado, here is the actual graded copy of Namor Nippleless #1 that I grabbed, 9.0. So it is very fine, near mint. But yes, here's me and Namor, no nipples. You know what? You're probably right. You really are. And I was looking up the graded consensus, and there are a ton of like 9.6s out there. It feels that way. It's going to have that point something to, to give it that full value. But yeah, man, I was even hemming and hawing on picking this up, albeit, it was like $20. And I was like, exactly. But I was like, I already own it. Do I really need this graded copy of it, But I was like, yes, this book is so important. Thank you. It's influential on you, me, I think anybody of our vintage as far as collecting in Marvel went. And I mean, listen, it was also so exciting because it's the early 90s. And what does it say here right on the cover itself? When we look at it, it says, out of the depths and into the 90s. It was just like, dude, how many times can I mention like New Warriors #1 got you jacked because you were just like, man, this is it, man. This is my giant size X-Men #1. That's what this is. This is my team, my generation. New Warriors #1? You think so? Okay, well, contents aside, as far as the importance of it, historically and otherwise. So yeah. Okay.
Of those Detective Comicses.
Hold on, let me get you full screen here so you can show them off.
Yeah,
yes, and I have the one with Robin slathered in goo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the picture I sent you over the weekend.
Okay.
Here is that Titans project.
Hold it up. There we go.
Whoa.
Oh, very fancy schmancy.
Yeah. How
Look
about
at you,
that,
Mr.
huh?
Man.
Turn it this way. There you go.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
And here's a show that I was going to do.
Uh-huh.
But didn't. That's that there.
Episode 1, X-Lapsed, X-Men.
Uncanny X-Lapsed.
Oh, Uncanny. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah, that was the show I was going to do last summer until I actually read the books.
No.
I was like, no.
Yeah.
Sorry, no.
All right, well, this is the last I'll show off the Namor before he... you know what? I was thinking about getting, because I have, these little hooks I could hang him on. Mm-hmm. Maybe putting him in the back here somewhere so that will always be on display and remind me, hey, man, this was the jam back in the day. This is what it was all about.
Get your pasties.
Get your... Got milk? No, I don't. Because I'm Namor in the 90s and I got no nips. So, yeah. And actually, we were talking about how lousy John Byrne's art had become. And you'd mentioned it's so loose and everything else. Namor to me was fantastic. And I understand...
Yeah.
You could say many aspects of it, it was being overdone as far as all the little cross hatching and little extra
I think
details.
he was just trying to keep up with the times.
Yeah, maybe, but man, I'm going to tell you, this was a really, really sharp book series for quite
Was that
a while.
90 or 91?
I believe this
was
was
that
90.
Was it 89 maybe?
No. Well, it's April. So it would have been the beginning of 90.
Of 90, so yeah, right into the turn of the decade.
Yeah.
This Wonder Woman is from 98.
Oh, okay.
And this one's from 96, the one with Zach Morris. That's so 6 years later.
The beginning of the decade compared to towards the end of the decade, Byrne's just like, F it.
Yeah.
They're just paying me
I'm
to show
John
up.
Byrne.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm just here. They just send me a check. You know what I mean? And Namor, dude, I love it. I love it a lot.
What's the ad on the back?
Oh, that's
Stridex?
double zap your zits with
Yeah,
some
Stridex.
here we
Oh,
go.
Clearasil, not even
Clearasil.
Stridex. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if that guy realized he'd be under plastic one day.
I didn't know. Maybe he didn't realize he'd be on YouTube someday because it didn't exist.
Yeah.
By some fat mid-40s schlub.
Dave Sim knew.
Hosting a YouTube show about comics. Here I am. So maybe that's something you can do because you enjoy projects. Look up this guy. Who is he? Where is he?
You should post. You said you were going to hang it up in there. You should do it with the back cover sticking out.
Oh boy, I'm sure my wife would love that.
Yeah, so we can see double zap forevermore.
Forevermore. Yeah, exactly. No, but
with the Raven.
That was definitely like an impulse buy, and it's a large part, yet again, thanks to the Bada Bin Show. So if I wasn't the co-host of this very program, I might not own that slab today. So yeah. Yeah, you know, I didn't realize we were going to add that other word to our terminology of do not use Monday Night Blank when it comes to comics, because you know my triggers as far as terminology.
Yeah.
And we've talked about maybe like bringing them up on the show before, but if we do that, then I just get angry when I hear the word.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So it's good that we've put that into the file as well. Don't say that. Don't say that word. We'll just dance around it. Hence why I did looking for more wrestling cred.
Yeah, we beat around that bush.
With the Monday Night Blank. So people know what the word is without me having to say said word.
There you go.
Right?
Uncooked meat.
Yes, uncooked meat. You know, I used to have these, when I did have graded comics like on display, I used to have them like up here behind me.
Okay.
And I just realized, like, what am I even doing? Like, they're just getting dusty up there. And so I think I got to find some kind of new format to hang them up. So yeah, some brackets or something over here, like frame photos might work, you know?
Your son is watching and waving.
Oh, hello, son. Yes, I am your dad, and I am bragging about this. I hope you're proud of me.
I have the same name as you.
I hope you're proud. Oh, this is glare. I hope you're proud of me, son. I did it. I did it. Yeah. Yeah. So, there we go. Yeah, as far as the other back issues I picked up, I do want to save those for next week's episode because I'm going to be in like this weird between new comics kind of thing going on here.
Cool.
So, but I did get a slew. I want to make sure I read them all and give you guys the full skinny.
I like
what's going on with the books I picked up. And yeah.
And I just got the email from FedEx saying my DCBS is shipped. So hopefully by next week I'll have, maybe we'll be interrupted again. You never know.
That'd be fun. One thing I did read this week, sitting over there, and I'm too lazy to go pick it up, is the latest issue of Savage Sword of Conan. It's issue 7. Well, hello. Slow down there, Yanni McYonnerson. This might even earn a deeper yawn. It's written by our boy Roy. Roy Thomas, the little Dutch boy. Yeah, I know, but it was a pretty good issue. Dude, I was kind of like, I don't know, man. You know me, I like Roy Thomas. Is a time and a place for it, right?
Is there 45,000 words in a 22-page book?
There's quite a lot of words in it. This is absolutely true. But I thought it was written very well. I thought it, as far as me getting up the enough oomph to want to read a Roy Thomas book in this day and times, when I finally did sit down and say I'm going to do it, I was pleasantly surprised. So there you have it. And it was a good issue as far as Savage Sword of Conan. But the thing is, you know, you yawned at it, and I'll say this, and I've said it 1,000 times before: Savage Sword of Conan understands the assignment. You know, with the tabloid format, the black and white, you know, what you're getting with the backups and everything else. It's an homage to the earlier version of said book that brought me so much joy in the same era as Namor in the 90s there. So for them to do that, nail nostalgia, give you some kick-ass Conan stories for the most part. Jason Aaron, that was one that we had discussed where it didn't necessarily start great, but I thought it ended wonderfully. You know, so you're getting some good Conan content in there as well. So yeah, man, I dig it. It's got a funky beat and I can dance to it. Yawn at that, fool.
Yeah. I actually been seeing a lot of the Conan cartoon from the 80s in these marathon YouTube videos.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Maybe early '90s even. Yeah, it's one where like his family gets like turned to stone.
I don't know.
Yeah,
You
and
said
like
it's on
the whole
YouTube?
yeah. If you look up, it's these Saturday morning marathons, and they're very very weird.
Huh.
Because like it could be just like it'd be like Muppet Babies into GI Joe into Conan into uh, what was that? God, what was that stupid live action thing that JMS did? Like Captain Power or something like that?
It might have been. Yeah, you're right. Conan the Adventurer on YouTube.
Yeah.
Huh. Go figure. I didn't realize that. I don't watch. This is terrible since I'm currently streaming on YouTube. I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube.
Hmm.
I'm a Roku channel kind of cat, as we've
Hmm.
established in the past. Actually, last night was a milestone in my family, in my household.
Hmm.
Okay, so my wife, massive Friends fan.
Yeah.
It's her favorite TV program on the face of the earth. She just absolutely adores it. Any kind of Friends related merchandise, all that stuff. She's all in on Friends, always has been.
Hmm.
In the last season of Murder She Wrote, my
Hmm.
jam, there
Hmm.
is an episode where they spoof in many ways Friends. It's called the title of the episode is Murder Among Friends,
Okay.
where she has to solve this murder on this TV not TV set, this
Like a show.
show. When I
Hmm.
say TV set, I think of the actual physical TV. That's why I
Yeah.
had to stop
Rabbit
myself.
ears.
But it is a
Yeah.
set. And the show is called Buds because they
Okay.
can't call it Friends. So anyway, I don't own the Murder She Wrote DVDs
Okay.
or Blu-rays, which is you would think I would by now, but I don't. So we watch it on the Roku channel. So you can only watch whatever is on when it's on. And
Gotcha. Oh,
every
it's not on
time,
demand.
no, you
Okay.
cannot. You cannot select what episode you're going to watch. You can't
I think
pause it.
I think it's on Peacock though.
I don't use Peacock, okay, buddy? That's not how I roll. That's where, you know what? I'm drawing the line at some of my streamers, and that's where the line stops right
You don't
there.
want the
Peacock.
cock?
I don't want the cock. And here's the other thing is that Peacock, I have it here on my Roku device, but you can only
Mhm.
watch limited things for free unless it's get
Oh.
that stupid little feather on it. And you're like, oh, I got to pay for that? Nah, I ain't doing that.
Mm.
Anyway, to continue with my story here, my wife had never seen this episode of Murder She Wrote,
Mhm.
season 12, episode 16. And so every time it's about to be on, she misses it. And this has been
Okay.
going on now for months. And I'm like, oh man, like the other day when they were playing season 12, so last week or the week before, we turned it on and I'm like, oh, it's episode 17. You just missed the Friends one. I can't believe it. Like, even to the point of that episode where they have like that Friends guitar, like the boom, do 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 do,
Mhm.
but they play it like to the Murder She Wrote theme. It's
Okay.
amazing. It's the episode itself is garbage, but
Okay.
last night I saw it was season 12, and I was looking at the episode list, and I'm like, if we stay up for 6 more hours until about 11 o'clock tonight,
It'll be on.
it'll be on. And man, weary-eyed and tired, my wife and I sat in this bed, and we were just like, can we make it? Oh my God, like little kids, for the first time ever staying up until midnight. Where you just like, we can finally do it, but your body keeps telling you no.
Hmm.
We made it.
There you go.
I have no idea because I didn't communicate with her this morning at all. But I don't know if she enjoyed it, if she hated it. I fell asleep 10 minutes into it. But by God, it was finally viewed.
There you go.
Milestone, people. I know I suck at telling stories, but here we are, face to face. What? Couple of silver spoons. Yeah. Have you been watching anything on TV lately other than like your YouTube junk or?
We've been rewatching Community.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
That's a damn good show. And for new stuff, like we've been watching Severance. Have you been checking that out?
A lot of hype around Severance. I know it took quite a while between season
It's
1 and season 2.
it's kind of I think it's kind of buying into its hype a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotten very Lynchian in all the wrong ways, in my opinion.
Okay.
We're also watching something called Yellow Jackets from Showtime, which is pretty good too.
I've
So
heard of
I
it,
mean,
haven't seen it.
it's a weird show because I hate every single person on it, but I still watch it.
Okay. Well, what's
It's
keeping you there? What's
I don't
making you-
know. I don't know.
Are you a captive audience because your wife is watching it, or
No, we both are like, why we hate every character on this show. Why are we watching it? But we do every week.
and you love to hate them? Maybe that's it.
No, it's just it. I don't know. Don't know. It's just maybe because we've invested so much time in it already. Don't know.
Okay,
But,
that could be it. Yeah, I mean, what you could do is make it a quest to finally catch season 12, episode 16 of Murder She Wrote.
I could find it on the cock.
There you go. You know what? And you can actually watch it on demand. But that's not. It's like what we do is collectors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I buy comics online because whatever, I'm lazy and it's easy. But nothing beats that physical hunt. Getting out on the streets, brick and mortar, baby, all the way, right? So in many ways, this is akin to that, wherein you could just watch it on demand, or you could put in that actual,
sweat equity.
I was waiting for you to say it before I said it. But yes, the sweat equity to watch a really crummy episode of Murder, She Wrote, because this is the final season. At this point, they're just like, you know what?
Packing it in. Yeah.
Wrap it up. And it again, it's not a good episode, but it is just so comical how much they
riff
on. It's the Friends could have sued them. Put it that way. They might have. I don't know.
You never know. That's why 12 was the last season.
Yeah, right. Friends sued Angela Lansbury and put her out of business.
Her bed knobs and her broomsticks.
Well, the thing was, she did come out with some made-for-TV movies, Murder, She Wrote, and those were... So, yeah. But that's all that aired as far as the adventures of J.B. Fletcher after season 12.
That was before or after she had the all-girls school?
The all-girls school, the bedroom, what do you call it? The broomsticks and the what now?
No, with Joe
no. Facts
and
of
Blair.
Life. No. No, you get the wrong cat. You get the wrong lady, man.
Oh, okay.
You're thinking of Mrs. And you
Mrs.
always
Garrett,
do
isn't it?
Garrett. It's not Mrs. Garrett. She's not Mrs.
She's
Garrett.
not her?
No, but she did play the adopted son on the show Webster.
Wait. The lady from Murder, She Wrote was the son of Webster?
No, she was Webster in the pilot. She was Mr. Stephanopoulos, whatever his name was, son. And they're like, sorry,
What?
Angela, you're not exactly what we're looking for in this role. And they went with Emmanuel Lewis instead.
It's Papadopoulos.
Papadopoulos, that's what it was. Thank you. Mr. Papadopoulos. You guys, it's not going to work out. And so that's how Emmanuel Lewis was cast after, Angela Lansbury didn't work out. So,
okay.
Yeah. Something, I know we're really going to the weeds here about TV, yes.
Here's one here. There was another Nell Carter show where she was called Nell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was just called Nell.
Yeah, very Tony Danza-esque right there.
But back to you.
Oh, I was going to say, I think one thing about 80s sitcoms and shows and everything else now, I've watched so much of them over the last God knows how long.
Sure.
My entire life, really. But recently, I've been watching a ton, is that we have forgotten to appreciate something known as the backdoor pilot.
Oh, yeah.
And do you remember those episodes? You're like, why are
we on this other family?
Yeah, this other cast. Yeah. Because it was a test to see if they could venture off into their own show. Could they support a spin-off show? And we don't really get that anymore, do we, in this age of streaming?
Well, we don't. That's something I was actually thinking about while I was vacuuming. I have a lot of thoughts while I vacuum about how, because I was thinking about Severance and like how it's in the can, right? It's like it's done, so like they can't pivot. And I thought about comics and how they are in a similar boat now because nothing wants to be what they are anymore. Like TV doesn't want to be TV anymore. Video games don't want to be video games. Everything wants to be movies for some reason. Like comics don't want to be comics. Everything just wants to be movies. You're less flexible. You can't pivot. Nothing can be episodic. Everything has to be like a bigger thing. And your thing with the backdoor pilots here, that can never happen now. Because the only way it could happen is if like, okay, on the next season, 5th episode of whatever show, we're going to launch this other show because we already filmed those 12 episodes of this other show. So it's not even a test. It's just like this is something that's happening. Deal with it.
Yeah, we're introducing this here.
Yeah.
But it's already been greenlit.
It's done.
And it's ready to go, yeah. You know,
No,
what?
it's
I'm sorry,
weird.
but I'm fascinated with this new split screen view that we have because it's like my junk behind me could almost align with your bookcase
Almost.
if
Eh?
I just reproportioned it just a wee bit. You know what I mean?
Da, 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 da,
Listen, don't
da.
don't compromise yourself
There you go. There you
just
go.
to
See,
align
it's
our
one
junk.
line.
It is on one side. You're right. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
There you go.
But you
Fixed
shouldn't have
it.
to compromise your visage to match
It's
all
true.
of my junk behind me here. You
It's
know?
true.
And now hopefully people like these new shots, some of our new layouts that I have going on here. I do realize there have been some slight bumps in the road, whether it was your audio when you're full screen, the very intro to this show, which we let off with. But we are smoothing this out, and we're going to perfect this to the point where everybody gets the best Bada bin possible, thanks to the new Bada bot.
A
So
bigger, better Bada bin.
I'm telling you, just stick with us, baby. The sky is the limit.
Be like WrestleMania 3, bigger, better, better.
It was that actually the slogan for that?
Mm-hmm.
I was not aware of that. What was the key moment in WrestleMania 3? Was that the slamming of
Hogan
Andre the
slamming
Giant?
Andre.
Yeah, okay. I knew. See, I know that much. I didn't know the name of the damn bird.
The damn bird? Come on.
The damn bird.
Have some
Frankie.
respect. There you go.
Well, I mean, he died in a fire. Was this malicious? What kind of situation was this fire? This house fire?
I think it was just a freak occurrence.
Oh, really? Are there
Yeah.
such a thing in the real world? A freak occurrence?
It might have been dangerous Danny Davis doing it. I don't know.
The Brooklyn Brawler fell
Brooklyn
asleep
Brawler?
with a cigar in his mouth.
The Heenan family might have come and swarmed Coco's, domicile.
Yeah.
Coco's airy.
Yeah. Angela
they-
Fletcher might have been very upset that she wasn't cast in Webster.
Could have been. Could have been.
Decided to take
She
it out in
flipped
Coco
out.
Beware. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. The world would have changed. So
Could have been
for
the girls
better.
from the Facts of Life. It could have been anybody.
Right?
Could have
All
been
right,
Charles Nelson Riley.
Whoa, what? Deep cuts with Chris. Listen, man, I think we've kind of talked a lot about TV. We are a comic podcast. I mean, well, show. Shouldn't call it podcast.
Showcase.
You know what? Showcase. Let's eliminate that from our vocabulary, too. The word podcast. Stop it. Enough. No more of that. Enough. But we do get correspondence
We do.
from the member of the show who is never seen but is always heard in the form of Chris Yu. Can you cue up his email from last week?
I sure can.
So
Or from
we
2
can-
weeks ago.
2 weeks. Oh my gosh, jeez. And
We've
kind of see
been
what he had
derelict.
cooking. Because I'm
There
sure
we
he
go.
is on the money when it comes to the comic stuff. He's going to bring us back to what we need to talk about here.
Let's do it here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, I forgot that this was a late-ish night
It
edition of the
was.
show.
Bada
wasn't
bin
it?
after dark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Make sure I'm in there. Okay. See here. Hello, the Bada Bin Show. The first Bada Bin After Dark was quite a success. No technical difficulties this time out.
Whoops.
About that. I was off from work this Friday, and since my wife has been sick with the flu for the past 2 weeks, it was up to me to do some cleaning. I put on the first episode of the Bada Bin Show and got to work. By the time I was done, so was episode 4. Wow. What a great time I had listening to the older shows. And it was rather uncanny that Dave would choose this episode to make the return of the pop question segment. I just watched the episode where the question of favorite X-Men logo was asked, and here it was being referenced again on the new live show. It almost felt like Dave had been tuned into my computerized assistant, whose name cannot be mentioned or else she'll start speaking through everyone's phones live on the air, and heard me watching the episode. A totally surreal moment for me. I read Aquaman #2, and I think it may be the end of my reading Aquaman. The big reveal of the character from Atlantis' past did not wow me. The new powers Aquaman has makes the character feel not like Aquaman. I find myself just not being interested in the direction the story appears to be moving in. I did enjoy the art, but it's just not enough to keep me coming back.
Okay.
And
All
that's
right.
it?
I mean,
No thoughts? Oh.
what's that?
I didn't know if you had any more thoughts.
Well, no, I said okay because the Aquaman thing I totally get. I understand.
Sure.
I mean, we both mentioned we're not 2 issues
We're
in.
not fanatic.
We
Yeah.
haven't been wowed by it. We don't have any ties to Aquaman. I'm not going out and spending any money on any slabbed Aquaman books
Yet.
But anyway, the art is the main draw for me here. I mentioned Aquaman 2 when I did that review. The reason why I enjoyed it was because it was simple. He
Sure.
punches crap. That's what
Yeah.
Aquaman is doing. He's just punching stuff. So
Mhm.
that's cool, but I can totally respect and understand, not sticking around to see what happens in issue number 3.
Yeah, I think I still have it on the poll. I don't think I've taken it off yet, so we'll see
Yeah.
how it goes.
I'll give it more time.
Yeah, yeah. Chris continues. The more modern comics I read, the more I notice a trend. As Chris mentioned with JSA number 4, right around the fourth issue of every six issue arc, it feels like the story is spinning its wheels. A minor subplot is highlighted for an issue with no advancement of the major plot line. I noticed that with quite a few of the titles I've recently read. I guess it's just the reality of writing for the trade. I am looking forward to JSA number 5 when I hope the story will get back on track. And I hope so too. Because I like Lemire a lot and I like the JSA a lot. But yeah, that fourth issue was a part 4 of 6 or a part 4 of whatever nowadays. Um, just wheels spinning and not a whole lot to. I mean, it just feels like a wasted month, So it's kind of unfortunate. Chris continues again here. He says, "I love the return of the pop question segment. The question of who the best-looking Spider-Man villain was is interesting. Selecting a character based just upon their appearance speaks to the importance of the artist in designing the character. I've always had an affinity for the look of Jonah's robot from Amazing Spider-Man number 25. The absurdity of J. Jonah Jameson's face on the screen that acted as the head of the robot is just the most unique design of any Spider-Man villain." And that is a weird one.
It is strange. Now, real quick though, he was alluding
Mhm.
to like the artist behind it, right? The design.
Sure.
Because like you had mentioned, you like Doppelganger.
Yeah.
Doppelganger, of course, being the evil version of Spider-Man with the arms and what have you.
Yeah, I think was it Starlin or Lim maybe?
Right, but I mean,
Yeah.
it is a cool design of a character because it's just this sinister, evil version. I mean,
Mhm.
that's why people like Venom. I think in many aspects too. It's like the id, letting this other side of you out.
Sure.
But would you? Okay, so let's say someone designed Doppelganger, but do you still think Doppelganger would be an amazing design if Al Milgrom drew it?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
one of the key things. Like this design, can it survive maybe a mediocre or subpar artist handling the
Why?
duties on it, and it would still have an appeal to you aesthetically?
That's a great question, and I mean, I can actually show a piece of that right now. One of the arguments against an artist like George Perez is that all the characters that George Perez draws only look good when George Perez draws them.
Okay.
And I mean, like Donna Troy by John Byrne.
Oh
No
yeah.
bueno.
Let me make you full screen there.
Yeah, I mean, even like where's that weird one? There it is, like the ooh, that one there,
Mm.
like the weird Troya costume there that Perez made look great, but nobody else could. Characters like Jericho, I've never seen anybody draw Jericho like Perez. You know, um, yeah, I think the Milgram line is I don't know what Doppelganger would look. I'm sure Milgram drew him at some point. He was
Perhaps.
probably like on a Spider-Man Unlimited or something. Um, but yeah, that's a great question. Like, how transferable are these designs?
Can they
You know,
survive? Can they stand? We always say, can books survive the test of time?
yeah.
Can these designs survive
Can
this
a
test?
journeyman, yeah, can a journeyman artist keep them up to what we remember them as? Yeah.
And if anybody new is tuning in and you say, dude, don't talk ill of the mill, leave Al Milgrom alone. I only stress that you listen to or watch
Hmm.
past episodes, and we give Al Milgrom his props, a lot of respect, but
Sure.
we have established the Milgrom line. And if you go back
Hmm.
and listen to the archives or watch the archives, whatever, I'm getting
Yeah.
all my senses confused, but still,
Hmm.
you'll understand where we're coming from when it's been well established.
Yes. I don't know if anybody would get the Mendoza line reference, but I don't know.
No,
Anyway,
Milgrom line, that's my jam.
there it is.
Yeah.
Now, where are we here? No, I don't want to read that paragraph again.
Okay.
On the topic of Dave's shirt streak, The DC Bullet logo T-shirt has indeed never before been worn on the Bada show.
Yeah.
And personally, I think that re-wearing shirts previously worn on the show is perfectly acceptable. Wearing the shirt from the first episode on the first anniversary episode would be a nice callback to the beginning. Wearing the same shirt for every Thanksgiving or Christmas episode could become a Bada Bin tradition. As I've been known to say in the past, you make up the rule, you can break it anytime you want. Don't be constrained by your own self-imposed rules. That's something I need to hear very often. But
Listen,
not when
man,
it comes to shirts.
Okay. My goal was to wear a different shirt for every episode of the Bada Bin show. I made one flub where I didn't realize I'd worn the same shirt twice. So I was wondering, since I didn't, in fact, technically break that streak, could I start fresh and the old shirts would be considered new shirts? Apparently, Chris, you said, no, man, not happening, bro. You still wore them. They're still in the, the annals of Bada Bin apparel.
They've been immortalized.
Yeah, exactly. So it is now my goal to start fresh, and it is self-imposed, but I'm going to try to rock fresh designs.
What is it today?
Every time out. This is Brainiac Ship.
Oh, okay. I just saw the top of it.
Okay, there we are. Ooh. Yeah, because I get a lot of T-shirts, man.
That's from that one Brainiac story.
Speaking of George Perez, he drew a fantastic Brainiac.
Sure.
But yeah, I got a closet, man, that's just like so many shirts that my wife is sick. She's like, can you donate some of these to charity? Like, you don't even wear any of these. So thanks to our humble little program, I can say, see, I do need all these T-shirts after all. Because
it's a uniform.
I'm keeping a streak alive. Yes, it's a uniform. Suck a big fat one, Cal Ripken. Okay, Iron Man, I'm coming for you.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Now, Chris wraps up with, now I need some help from Dave.
Oh, dang. Me?
What was the shirt you wore in episode number 3? When I was looking to find the 2 episodes with the same shirt, I was able to identify all of them except for the one worn in episode 3. I have no idea what property was represented on that shirt. Big thanks.
Okay, big thanks. Well, let me do a little research here because I have no idea what I wore.
We're gonna do this real time.
Yeah, let me look up episode 3.
I'm in here. Don't worry about it.
Okay,
I got you. I got this.
I think I could find it. Let's see here. This is, what was I adorning my nipples with? Oh, here we go. Bada Bin episode 3.
Oh,
okay.
Your name is blocking it. It's.
Yes, our names were in the middle of the screen there. That is Prince Robot the Fourth from Saga. That's
there
who
you
that
go.
is. Yeah.
I would have never known that.
Yep. That's a pretty cool T-shirt, as a matter of fact. I should wear it more often, just not on this program since it's already been worn.
You already did it.
But there you go. The mystery is solved. Prince Robot 4 from Saga, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, we were such young pups. Back
We were.
in episode number 3. It's amazing that I can look back here and look at us and go, oh, you can't see that now. That's too bad. Anyway, you know what? Perfect reason for you to go look back yourself, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
Go back, Bada Bin, watch the old episodes. Biggity bam, biggity boom. So handsome, so dapper, so debonair.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm talking about me.
Oh,
Me, fool.
Oh,
So that was it for Chris's email?
that's it.
Oh, man.
I haven't checked the last episode to see if there was comments.
You can, and I'm sure he didn't send us anything on our week off, but I haven't checked our email account in quite a bit.
Now.
Sorry, buddy.
Come now.
Oh, no.
See, this was episode 28 last time, right?
Yes.
All right. Let's see here. Okay. Chris Yu does have comments here. He says, the Judas contract is to the Titans as a pot of chili is to Green Arrow. That's a very good analogy. Or is that, I don't even know if that's an analogy, but it's a very good comparison. Old Man Con is coming up. You guys should get a table there.
Oh.
Let's see here. I found out that the Canadian price variants were just 2% of the print run for each issue. They are quite rare. And that was about the Deathstroke annual that I had. And I actually found it again. It wasn't a variant. It was just the U.S. price was $350 instead of $250.
Hey, real quick before you go on, he did write us an email.
Send it over.
Well, I'll just read it. How does that
Okay.
sound? I will take the
Uh-oh.
duties on this one. Okay.
Okay.
Me.
Is it? Why didn't you show up this week?
Hello, the Bada Bin Show. This email has been canceled. See you next week. Until next time, Chris, you LOL, happy face, laughing face, or tear face. I don't know how emojis are described, but yes, he did, in fact. Email.
Canceled it.
Yes, the email has been canceled. Touche, my friend. Touche.
I like it.
Yeah, there we go. As his comments, you may now continue.
Okay.
Yes.
Ollie is making all that chili for his chili dog trick arrows, perhaps. He's going to start defeating villains with chili dog arrows, just like they used Twinkies to defeat criminals back in the 70s. You know, that would be funny. Hostess ads, but with chili dogs.
You know what? You're right. Instead of a Twinkie defense, you have a chili dog defense.
You see people slipping in puddles of it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, is that chili dog or snot or both?
Could be. Both. Depends on who made it. Yeah.
Wonder Woman has always been a B-list hero and series. She's just the most high-profile female hero, so everyone wants her to feel more important than she has ever been.
Ouch.
100%.
Major slam on the WW.
In the picture of all the Spider-Man villains as floating heads, I thought the lizard's face in the lower corner looked exactly like Godzilla.
That was Kevin McGuire, right? That image?
I think it was McGuire. Yeah. I wish I knew you guys back in 2009 when I sold my collection. I could have given you all those Damage issues for free. You know,
Chris would have taken them, yes.
I would have taken them.
Yeah,
of course I would have taken
them.
Yeah. For that project, that's never going to happen. When I was at Half Price Books picking up that Batman in the 40s, I found an issue of Damage. And Damage is $1 book for me at most. And they had it for $4.
Wow.
It's like, it's Damage.
Right.
But it's Half Price Books. I remember when I discovered this Half Price Books, or when I actually went over to the bins in this Half Price Books, I found Stormwatch #1 from the New 52, and it was like $30. It's like, it's Stormwatch from the New 52.
Really?
Yeah, it's like 30 cents might be more like
Was it signed by anybody of interest or note? No?
Huh. Nope. No, and I don't even think it was bagged. I think it was just a price tag on the cover. Yeah.
Maybe the decimal was just too light. The ink needed to be changed in the register thingy-majiggy. Yeah, Jeez Louise. Holy moly.
He asks, why is Jigsaw the only criminal Frank Castle never kills? It's a good.
Well, you know, he's a recurring villain. He's the foil. You need to have him back. Even though, at the spoiler alert, I guess, at the end of the issue that we discussed, so it's only a spoiler if you watched Bada Bin episode 28, he did kill him.
Well.
But is he really dead? Of course not. It's comics. Come on now. Yeah.
I mean, we got to think about all those Jigsaw Funko Pops and T-shirts, right?
Do they even exist?
I hope not.
I don't think they do. I don't think there is a Jigsaw. You know what? Going back to the phone.
There you go. You do that, and I'll keep going.
Yep.
Modern Superman should have no history as a Superboy, in my opinion.
Me too.
If Superboy is known to exist in the world, why would the first appearance of Superman in Metropolis have any impact? That's a great point.
I agree 110%.
That is a great point. It's like, oh, well, this super character from Kansas is here now. It wouldn't be a big deal at all.
Yep.
Nobody would be surprised. Nobody would be shocked. It's just,
you know what?
He's here now.
He's absolutely correct, because there was a time and a place for that being connected. Back in the day, we've talked about it how many times before, Silver Age books, you know, where issue to issue continuity wasn't even necessarily a thing that needed to be established or kept track of. Go nuts. Go crazy. But in this day and age, you guys just nailed it. Totally.
Yep.
And by the way, as far as the Jigsaw, not a Punisher Jigsaw Funko Pop, only the character from the movie Saw.
Oh, his name is Jigsaw?
I don't know, but he's the only one that's popping up. Billy the Puppet vinyl figure. Billy. So there is no. Let me keep looking if you want to keep reading. But
That's something I don't get. Like those horrible, ugly horror movie character. Why would you want a figure of that in your house? I don't get that.
fandom is a funny thing, my
I
friend.
guess so. I guess so. It's like I wouldn't want that jigsaw puppet in my house. That's gross.
Yeah, I know.
I wouldn't want the new Pennywise from like give. I'll take the Tim Curry one. Don't give me this new whatever the hell one.
Well, my friend Beto,
Mm.
he has, I know, like Terrifier figures.
What's that?
It's like an evil clown.
Okay.
And he's got a figure, and it's really a neat looking figure as far as articulation and everything, but that would be exactly what you just described. Like, that would freak you out.
Yeah.
Why do you need something scary like that in your house? But I mean, okay, maybe to somebody, like, I've got like Doomsday figures and stuff like that. Maybe to somebody else, why would you have this big monstrous beast with like bones sticking out of it on display in your home? Well, I like Doomsday. I like Superman. So it's just, whatever floats your boat as far as your fandom goes,
I guess.
I personally wouldn't care for it either, but,
No. We have one more comment here from our friend Bill Beer.
Hey, Billy.
He says, I failed this podcast. No birds were harmed. Absolute Batman's first arc is 5 issues. Snyder says at least 24 issues, but if sales are good, he's got years worth of stories.
Yeah. Yes. Bill, you did fail. And by the way, congratulations to Bill. I chatted with him a little bit via DM, I guess you call it, direct message, on Blue Sky, and he's got married.
Hey, how about that?
Yeah, so congratulations to Mr. Beer and his blushing bride on their nuptials. I can't remember.
The Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly when it took place. We weren't invited.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? I would have showed up in awesome apparel like this. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here for the wedding. You guys got any egg salad sandwiches? Huh? But still, yes. Our well wishes to him and
Absolutely.
his better half. Even though he did in fact fail the show. So as far as Bada Bin purposes are concerned, Bill, don't ever let us down again. Don't do it. Be here when we need you. Okay? Exactly. Shame. So yeah. And that does it for the comments on the past episodes and Chris Yu's contributions as far as Bada Babble. Always humdingers from this cat, I gotta say.
Yeah.
And just like Chris Yu, don't be intimidated. If you ever want to chime in, let us know what you think.
Please do.
badabinshow@gmail.com or via comments on the video. I assume that would be below. I don't know.
Potentially.
This internet geography, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm still shocked about the world nowadays. If you think about it, when we were coming up in the comic collecting world, right? We didn't even have like co-ed comic shops. Okay? Think about that.
We still don't.
Well, no, now you do. But back in those days, it was a bunch of like sweaty Peter Davids hanging out. Probably, I don't know, lusting for my loins.
That's not the way it is anymore.
Yeah, but now there's a bunch of lusty, sweaty Peter Davids in wigs as well. I don't know. I'm just saying, times have changed. Okay? Times have changed for the better. Admit it. Admit defeat.
Speaking of times changing here, I've been reading a lot of old internet stuff. I mentioned Paul O'Brien earlier. He used to be an essayist for a website called Ninth Art. And Ninth Art ran from, I think, like 2002 to 2006. So very, very short span of time. And he wrote a piece about one of the subjects that's near and dear to us, the trouble photo covers.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The photo covers it wasn't just Trouble. There was another book that had a photo cover that came out around that time called 15 Love, which was a reimagining of Millie the model as a teenage tennis phenom. And the covers of this thing, I mean, the covers of Trouble, you don't want people seeing you with those books, right?
Right.
You wouldn't want your mom or grandmother to visit and be like, "What's that on your table? Why are there preteen girls in bathing suits on your table? You know, what are you reading, you pervert?" But 15 Love, it's very suggestive. It's a young girl in a tennis skirt, very, 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 very short tennis skirt.
I'm afraid to even Google this right now. I don't know if I should. I should probably just leave it alone.
Maybe,
Okay,
maybe you don't want that on your search history. But I guess Marvel was maybe not so much taken to task about it, but asked what they were for. And their argument was, or their explanation was, that these books, Trouble and 15 Love, were looking to find the preteen girl market in comics. I don't know that a preteen girl would somehow find their way into a comic book store to begin with, and then be drawn over to these photo covers of. I mean, the Trouble girls look like they look like the pictures the police would get from a kidnapper, right?
I don't know,
like
man.
They look very uncomfortable.
They look like a couple lot lizards thirsty for some MD 2020. You ask me.
I mean, they just look very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
they look very awkward.
It's like natural.
No, and it's disturbing. So a preteen girl's going to find their way into a comic book store and then be drawn over to Trouble, buy it, and I don't know. I mean, I guess it's just a further indictment that Marvel's been full of shit for a very long time. Yeah, I read that and I thought of you because we joke about the Trouble book
all the time. All the time.
Yeah,
I know.
And it's like, oh, they were like playing this ball, and I just I don't know. Like I have the Trouble hardcover somewhere over here.
Oh boy, why?
Yeah, because it was $1.
Oh Jesus.
Let me see if I can. I don't know if the photo covers are in it.
Okay. Oh geez, that was a little too readily available.
It was.
It was right within arm shot. Oh boy.
Yeah. No, it's on the Spider-Man shelf.
Okay. Sure. Save that for the judge.
Yeah, the photo covers aren't in here.
I'm keeping you full screen. This is evidence, by the way. That's what this is.
Exhibit A.
It's coming up in your trial.
Oh wait, no, let's see here. Okay. Let's see. If I can find. I don't know if the covers are in here.
Check the back.
No, they're not in the back. Yeah, here's one.
Oh boy.
I mean,
remember earlier, blink twice if you're in trouble. That's where we're at.
I mean,
oh god,
they look like they're the kidnappers are sending the pictures to the police to prove they have them.
Why was that the only cover featured in the trade?
That was the first one I found.
Oh, okay, so there's more.
I'm guessing they're probably all in there, but that was the first one I found.
Yeah,
flipping through it.
Oh lord.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
But yeah, Marvel said that they were looking to sell to preteen girls. I don't know that I'd want a preteen boy reading Trouble. I don't think I'd want anybody reading Trouble. You're on mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. If you were trying to attract any audience in particular, it's probably the preteen.
But wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We mentioned crusty gym socks earlier. There you go. That was like, is a Sears catalog? No, that's Sears. The
Victoria's
Secret catalog appear in the mail?
The Mervyn's catalog?
Yeah, exactly. No, we get trouble. There you go. Jeez Louise. Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad you found that. You could clear that up for us, because now we know the origin story.
We do.
Behind Trouble.
We do.
Yeah. I muted myself because at the beginning of the show, when the title card didn't pop up, it was just us. I was exposed for my vaping habit. So a lot of times when I'm vaping on the show, I always go full screen to you, and I'll mute my mute my microphone so people can't hear me ripping vapes. You know what I mean?
I have a scratching my nose and squinting habit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but you don't mute for that. You just
unfortunately
you let the world have it.
I'll go like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, I don't have much more to add to this episode because, this was, like you said, it was fairly almost impromptu. We're testing the new equipment and stuff like that. But, one great thing I'll tell you is that with this new setup,
Mm-hmm.
previously it would show me CPU usage on the bottom, and it'd be
Yeah.
astronomical.
Oh, burning up a
Dude,
whole line.
it would be 60% or something, and I'm like, oh man, Chris, you talking about technical issues and stuff like that. Today I've been looking down casually. It's 2%. 2%.
Hey.
So I want to thank Bada, despite some of the hiccups that we've had along the way. Well, wait. Bada, what was that? Hold on, Bada, can you please repeat that?
Is he talking about my mother?
No. Oh, Bada, I don't know if that's appropriate. Bada really wants us to do something. He says because he's here now, that we should really kick off.
Tell a story?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, I don't know, Bada. I don't know if we really should do that. Bada, calm down. Wait, he says he's taking control of the situation.
Everybody loves a chili dog.
Oh God, it's so good.
Sucking on chili dog.
I'm a chili dog. Don't know if I'm a chili dog, baby. So good and tasty. Chili dog time, yeah.
Listen, I can't control this guy. He is something else. Bada really wants to chili dog story.
Of our new member here.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell it. I'm just going to tell it here. Here we go.
Yeah.
It was 9 years ago.
Uh-huh.
When I went to...
Yeah.
And and that was...
Oh, that was great. Oh,
Yeah.
You know what? That was worth the wait.
I know.
Oh my
I know.
God. I'm crying. That was so good. Oh, I'm going to be telling my grandkids about that.
Where were you when the chili dog story was told?
Oh, baby. That was incredible. Chris, thank you so much.
The moon landing, Kennedy being shot, chili dog story.
Seriously. That was so impressive. Oh my God. I mean, it was a little bit horrifying as well.
It was.
But really,
It was.
my life is forever changed.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I could conquer the world now. Maybe go create some cures to some random diseases. Potential.
I'm going to go flip a car.
Yeah, exactly.
Thing over. Yeah.
I mean, really, the sky's the limit now that that's out in the universe. And the best part is that you shared it with everybody. So all that good fortune, all that success, that is straight up for
It spreads.
the Bada Bin audience. You know what I mean? So if you are a Bada Binian, welcome. Welcome to this just amazing Nirvana.
It's like a religious experience.
Exactly. Thank you. You took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. With that,
Yeah.
I think we
I'm
should.
spent.
Me too. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
We should probably hit the road. Hit the road, Jack. Now, next week we will be back. I promise a bunch of back issues. Chris hopefully will get his fresh issues in the mail, do some unboxing on air. So we have that to titillate you and tease you with coming up in the future, much like Issues of Trouble. Where But anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I want to give virtual hugs to everybody who has joined us today. Stuck with us despite, yet again, some of the minor little blips that we had as far as echoes and screenage or whatever.
It's my voice of God is all.
There we go. I do want to say, if you did see some format changes you liked, let us know. If you want to see something different, let us know. The sky is the limit now, not only because of Bada, but because the chili dog story is out in the cosmos. So thank you. I appreciate you. Chris, do you have anything you'd like to add before we go?
No. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us today and in the future. We love you, and we look forward to seeing you again real soon.
Sounds good to me.